If your breakthrough is directly tied to someone else's obedience, it can tarry. I'm going to use the story of Elijah as an example, right? You see Elijah and the widow in the book of First Kings, right? Provision had been given to Elijah through a widow, right? And he gets there, and the widow is giving him all these excuses like, "Oh, I'm going to kill myself and my son. I don't have all this money. I don't have all of this, right? I only have a bread. I'm going to go bake for me and my son." And Elijah is like, "You know what? Feed me first, and we'll talk about your problems." Sorry, I'm paraphrasing, right? And so I just think I'm thinking about this. What if the widow did not act out in faith? Because she could have done that. When God works with man, we have our free will, really. So what if the widow was like, you know what? I don't let me just don't come and eat the remaining food I have. I'm gonna go bake this bread, I'm gonna eat it with my son, and that's it. Like I don't have enough to give you. Elijah still would have been provided for, but probably not in Zarephath. Or maybe in Zarephath, but it would have been someone else. Maybe he would have had to go journey to go meet someone else, right? Maybe he would have had to go to a different town before he would receive the provision that God wanted to give him. And the same thing for the widow, because if she did not act out in faith, because at that point she needed something from God, but before God gave it to her, she needed to feed Elijah. If she had sent Elijah away, she wouldn't have realized that that's where her source of provision would have come from. God had literally sent someone to her to provide for her in in obedience to what He wanted, right? So it goes both ways. If she did not act as in faith, she wouldn't have received provision from God. If she didn't act as in faith, Elijah would have had to go somewhere else to receive bread to eat. So I'm thinking about it from like when your obedience, when your breakthrough, sorry, is directly tied to someone else's obedience. So you better pray because it can tarry, it can take longer than it's meant to because the other person is not acting in obedience to what God wants.